fan of Colonial Sports Center. Are you ready for some football? Eric Swilinski and the boys take on Dayton at Joe. Can Super Mario lead Robert Morris to a victory? Plus, the women's volleyball team was trying to come up aces at the start of the season. Can they dig their way to a victory? And the men's soccer team wades into the Battle of Pittsburgh against the Dukes and Panthers. Can Ryan Zabinski's skull won't fit to win any match? Fly into Colonial Sports Center, which starts right now. Salutations, Bobby Moe faithful, and welcome to this 10th year of Colonial Sports Center alongside the effervescent Heather Sudduth. I'm Andrew Chiappesi, and Heather, they say on your 10th anniversary, the common practice is to give something made out of tin or aluminum. Any ideas?
Well, the usual thing to give out is picture frames, usually made out of those two metals, so why don't we do snapshots of Colonial victories? That could be a good start.
Brilliant idea. We'll see how many different snapshots we can collect during the show, and we'll start on the gridiron. It would be perfectly understandable if Coach Joe Walton refused to tweak his defense other than compensating for the graduating seniors from last year. After all, the Colonials had the best defense in all of FCS football last year. However, Walton wanted to free up Dan Radakovich to work with both sides of the football, so Scott Farrison was promoted to defensive coordinator. Farrison and the new defense were on display at Joe Walton Stadium on Saturday versus the Dayton Flyers. To the Joe we go. And early on, start of the season, first half, Dayton on the goal line. Kevin Hoyne does the plunge, early TD, 7-0 Dayton. Late first quarter, Swilinski is going to find Mario Hines for a 62-yard TD. It's going to make this a 7-6 ball game as Super Mario gets into the end zone for the first time this season. And we're going to show you the actual extra point because Michael Walzer, first time, wide left, it stays 7-6. Moving on now to the second half, Dayton punting. Hines goes back to return. Great returner, but he only gets about a few yards before he has to take a knee because his legs cramp up. Hines would be out for most of the rest of the game. Swilinski and company trying to respond, finds Julian Ellison for a first down. Colonials can't get much more yardage, so they bring out Walzer for a field goal try. No. Walzer makes it wide left, 16-6 in favor of Dayton. Fourth quarter, Swilinski to a hobbling Hines. Flags fly. Hines can't make the catch, but that penalty allows Ryan Listrup to plow through for a touchdown. It is 16-12, pending the extra point. Walzer again with the extra point, again with the miss. This time it's wide right, and Coach Walton's not happy. 16-12, a 5-point swing, and that's going to make a difference right here because Swilinski tries to hit Hines and it's picked off. Scott Horcher is going to take it in for the Flyers, 23-12, and that would be the dagger to the heart of the Colonials. That is the ball game. Dayton improves to 1-0 on the season. Robert Morris falls to 0-1 for the Flyers. Kevin Hoyne, 14 of 36 for 120 yards, 73 rushing yards in the option attack offense. J.M. Johnner, the wide receiver, 7 receptions for 41 yards to lead the Flyers. Meanwhile, Eric Swilinski for Robert Morris, 18 of 39 for 236 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. That interception that you saw, Mario Hines in spotted duty did see 3 receptions for 85 yards and a touchdown.
The guy made a great play on the pick. I mean, he made a great jump. Mario was hurt, which made it pretty rough on us. I mean, his legs were killing him, so, I mean, he got in there. He tried to come back.
Just cramped up early. I had to just water down a lot, and then playing through it kind of got me exhausted. But cramps on both legs, I can't really explain it. Kind of just something that you have to, 2 days, day before, you have to really hydrate yourself a lot, especially with days like this.
And here's how the other teams in the NEC fared. Last Saturday, Sacred Heart took on the Big V over Assumption in Massachusetts, 41-20, seeding them first, along with Wagner, who beat out Western Connecticut State 20-4. Albany took a loss to Colgate, no, not the toothpaste, 13-11. Central Connecticut State fell to Townsend 20-10, and Big Bad Monmouth was a little sheepish on the field, losing 21-14 against Maine. The Colonial start conference play this weekend. Kelly Burke has more about this Saturday's matchup.
Season opener to Dayton, 23-12. The Robert Morris Colonials have a lot to improve on before beginning conference play this weekend.
I think this week in practice we just need to really pick it up. I mean, defense played really well, and it's all on the offensive shoulder from here on out. So we respect them. They got to respect us. We got to do our thing.
Let the two freshman starting linemen know that how the speed of the game is now, and to pick it up and like get the butterflies out of the system so that we can gel as one unit. The defense, I think, is really good again this year, but they were on the field entirely too long. So once we have a sense of urgency on the offense, I think we can put some things together.
The Colonials are heading to Kessler Field to face Monmouth, who beat them 16-7 last season. Robert Morris is expecting a lot of pressure on their quarterback, Eric Swolinski, who was sacked 3 times in last year's matchup.
Last year they had a great defense. I mean, we had a couple big plays where I made mistakes, and I think I corrected those this year during camp. And we know what we have to do when we go up there, and we just need to execute.
They're a blitzing team. They're going, after watching this film, they're going to blitz us a whole bunch. And we just have to mentally prepare. Monmouth has a mental hold over us that we have to overcome. So as long as we're all making plays and the leaders step up, we should be able to fight and get a W. I expect wins all the time.
This season's game against Monmouth was originally scheduled for October 20th. Due to St. Peter's dropping football prior to the start of the season, RMU made 2 adjustments to this season's schedule, and they will now play crosstown rival Duquesne on October 20th.
The Colonials will leave for West Long Branch, New Jersey on Friday to face Monmouth Saturday at 1 o'clock. For Colonial Sports Center, I'm Kelly Burke.
Now, on to the real football. Start of the game, Colonials against the Duquesne Dukes. Battle of Pittsburgh. Ryan Zabinski in 7 and white. Very crucial early on. First half, a free kick. Drew Jeffrey with the shot off the post. And the kick is going to eventually go in. Matt Felice couldn't handle it, but it's waved off because of offsides. Moving on to the second half now. No score still. Ryan Zabinski is going to change that. Off the nice feed from Dwayne Chin. He's going to make a move and then send this shot off the left foot and into the right corner. Robert Morris up 1-0 early on. Colonial is flying high. Moving on to the 65th minute, 1-0 still RMU. Duquesne's Pat Flynn with the penalty kick. Matt Felice says no. Rebound's going to come off and it's going to hit the post. Thanks for the post. Colonials keep the lead at 1. Moving on to the 71st minute, Zabinski and company looking for a little padding. Nice cross from Zabinski to freshman Neil Schaefer. Money. Schaefer's first goal as a collegian. RMU holds on for a 2-0 win.
You know, we had 2 preseason games along with the alumni, and it's good to finally get out and get a regular season game. And you know, these guys are a heck of a team, and we haven't beaten them in a while. I think it's all-time records 2-8-2 against them, so it makes it even that much more special to come out here and get a win, 2-0, and start off the season on the right track.
Back up to the North Athletic Complex once again, the women's soccer hosts Alabama. Right from the kickoff, Jamie Zimmerman hands the ball over to RMU. On for here, she's going to try and get that ball out of the way, but just leaves that goal right open. And yes, right there, you just witnessed the goal that tied for the 8th fastest goal in NCAA history. Second half, RMU on the offense, taking it down the field. Kathleen Cagliano dribbles out of Alabama's D and kind of like reflexes deflect. Alabama with the ball, looks for the open girl number 22, finds her, but Jess on for right there, takes her out as she dives for the ball. That's what soccer's all about. Jess Deegan with the scoop. Lawson, who tries to head it in right here, just can't get it and deflects it. Hello! Out of nowhere comes in for that goal, Alabama. Okay, check this out. Imagine a diving header right there. Did that just go in? Yeah, it definitely did. Alabama came up strong on the offense right there. Here we have Chelsea to take the penalty kick for injured Stevanato. She drives it right into the net. Goaltender didn't even have a chance. That was actually the only point the Lady Colonial scored against Alabama, where they came out victorious 3-1.
They scored 2 goals in a span of 1 minute, and a couple of mistakes, and then a very good effort by them. So I think to start the season, unfortunately we lost, but we are not far away from playing with some big-time universities.
All right, we need to stop for some rehydration, but when we come back, we're going to pretend that we're out on the California beach because we're playing some volleyball. Colonial Sports Center returns in 60 seconds. So should you.
Now on to one of my favorite pastimes, volleyball. The ladies volleyball team traveled to Michigan State to hit off the regular season at Central Michigan University tournament 2 weekends ago. The ladies came out strong for the beginning of the season, going 2-1 in the tournament. Freshman standout Amanda Graham made her debut, leading the Colonials with 10 total blocks and a .323 hitting percentage to be named the NEC Rookie of the Week. Graham and the Lady Colonials look to continue their winning ways this past weekend when they hosted the Duquesne Robert Morris Invitational. The team is now 3-3 and 0-0 in the conference. Now, shall we check out the highlights? I think so. Heidi Camp right here is up to serve for Buck now. Goes deep in the back and it's bumped up for a beautiful set. Check out that little tip right there by Emily Wolfus. Very nicely done. Up we have Elena Gibson who serves for the Colonials. It sets to the Bison's outside and Storiano's block goes right off the fingers, picked up very nicely. Bam. Almost that kill, just almost got it, and here it is, right that outside hit. Just wasn't enough. Right here, Emily Wolfus up for, it's kind of a cheap serve, but yes, the net is legal, and that's a point for the ladies. The Colonials did have some great plays, but Bucknell Bison came on top, winning all 3 games for a 3-0 score. Up here we have a nice by the Colonials. The deepest dig and a set and fake for a middle. And then we go up to that block, but check that out, Jess Camione. Very nice, very nice. Wolfus to serve again for RMU. The ball is bumped up and set, and it's almost blocked by Amanda Graham, but check out, see what she has to say about that. Bam, not in my house. It's a freshman right there, ladies. Emily Wolfus to serve it up for the Colonials once again. Nice attacking going on back and forth. Good offense and defense between both. But here you're just gonna see the height right there on that kill. Amazing, very nice. Tough play Friday and Saturday for the ladies. They just couldn't bring it to the floor, losing to North Dakota State 3-2.
You know, I like the stuff that we're doing as far as just the pace of the game. You know, everything's really fast. You know, we're not the tallest team out there, so we have to kind of use our athleticism to gain advantage against teams. And you know, I think the system that we're running right now is really helping us do that.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Jack send a blistering shot off your right foot into the back of the net. Yes, Jack, also known as senior forward Jacek Prenovic, scored not once, but twice in the final portion of the Battle of Pittsburgh as Robert Morris topped Duquesne 2-0 back on Friday, and they had a chance on Tuesday to top the Panthers. The Colonials up on the North Athletic Complex looking to take home the crown. The Battle of Pittsburgh continues for this final match, RMU versus Pitt. In the 18th minute, Pitt hungry. Matt Langton rejected by Matt Felice on the shot here, so no score yet. 6 saves for Felice on the day. EJ McCormick looking for the net now. A minute later, Felice gets some help from Connor Curran-Hayes. Score stays tied at 0. Things get dicey with NEC Rookie of the Week Neil Schaefer, tagged with a yellow card. He'll come back later, though. Approaching the 30th minute, Ryan Zabinski sets up the star. Yeah, it's Jacek Prenovic. Jack in the box. 1-0 RMU after a half against Pittsburgh. Second half now, 48th minute. Prenovic again this time from Tyler Stanley, silky smooth. Jack's third of the season, RMU up 2-zip, and Jack's going to be looking for more. In the 72nd minute, on his own, pushes it just a bit outside. 2-0 RMU still. Pitt would pull within 2-1, but the freshman Schaefer strikes again, aloft over everyone's head. Third on the season for the freshie. RMU wins 3-1. Here's what Coach Bill Denniston had to say.
I think that we're one of the teams to be considered. I mean, I think we're pretty explosive going forward, and if we can get our back sorted out in the next 5 or 6 games, we got a chance.
Well, as we can see, freshmen are popping up all over the scene in sports this week. Neil Schaefer, the freshman midfielder for the men's soccer team, earned himself the NEC Bryan Rookie of the Week honor. For his debut week, Schaefer tallied 2 goals and 1 assist. This helped give RMU its best start since 1995. CSC's own Matt Davies was able to catch up with Schaefer and head coach Bill Denniston. Davies?
At the start of the RMU soccer season, freshman midfielder Neil Schaefer expected nothing but riding the pine. His coaches even alluded to him that playing time would be seldom.
I wasn't even expecting to play that much. One of my coaches said I might not even be able to, but I came here and I'm amazed. It's unexplainable. I can't. It feels great.
With Neil's recent performances and scoring 3 goals in just 3 games, that may not be the case anymore.
It's a mystery when you're recruiting. Some guys just seem to click immediately, and I think it helps that Neil and Justin are from the same school, and they're roommates, and they're local, and usually it takes guys time to adjust, and those two have just hit the ground running, and Neil's been on the right end of a couple goals.
Schaefer hopes to continue this offensive explosion going tomorrow against Binghamton at 5 o'clock. With the RMU soccer team, I'm Matt Davies, Colonial Sports Center.
Up next, you'll never, ever, ever guess who is going to Europe to play. Derek Coleman, that's right, RMU senior last year. Be back.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2, testing 1 2, testing.
What to say about the Pirates other than I think their season has more ups and downs than the waves of the ocean. That's right. So far, the Bucs are 61 and 78. 31 of those wins were at home, and the other 30 were on the road. The Pirates did gain former San Francisco pitcher Matt Morris, who looks to get $9.5 million. Yeah, that's right, by next season. Not too bad money for being a little uneasy about the adjustment. The Pirates host the Chicago Cubs for the next 3 nights. So on Saturday, RMU night, make sure to go check them out at 7:05. I'm sorry. Now onto the standings so far this season. As you see, Chicago is 71 and 68. They're in first, followed by Milwaukee, who is actually also tied with them. St. Louis and Cincinnati not too far behind, 68 and 68. Houston is 62 and 78, and our lone Pittsburgh's, the Bucs, 61 and 78.
I was talking to my buddy down in Southside, and he said he heard that Bill Cowher is secretly doing time in North Carolina, and Tomlin ain't going to be coach for long. So the Steelers are going to bring him back in a few years, and Tomlin's going to be the new D coordinator. I just telling you what I heard. Coach Tomlin and the Steelers ready to roll minus the Pittsburghese, and things to watch out for during the Browns and Steelers game this Sunday. As Ben Roethlisberger goes, so go the Steelers. Big Ben will need to have a significantly better season, and it needs to start Sunday at the Dog Pound. Plus, the Steelers are getting older and weaker on the offensive line. If Big Ben doesn't want to be looking out of his ear hole all season long, the Steelers should take this opportunity against the weak Browns defense to gel. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. on CBS.
Well, the Penguins look to start their new training camp on September 13th at South Point Isoplex in Canonsburg. The Pens will then move to good old Mellon Arena the 17th through October 3rd. The Pens will also be wearing the new uniforms this year to get in the groove for the new arena that's on the way as well. The new $290 million arena is said to focus more on the three converging rivers rather than the heritage of the Steel City. The building is set to open for the 2010-2011 season. And now, let's look at some big dates that the Pens had this past summer. To check them out, July 22nd, center Angelo Esposito is signed. Also, goalie David Brown is signed. Two of those guys are big guys you want to look out for. July 11th, their schedule was released. August 8th, Pizza Hut made the official sponsor of the Pens. And August 30th, the Pens unveiled their new uniforms. Pretty snazzy.
Robert Morris men's ice hockey team has a good chance to raise a trophy over the heads as well as the Penguins this year, and they're starting to be noticed by the pros. RMU graduate Aaron Clark signed on with the Wheeling Nailers of the East Coast Hockey League. The Nailers are a minor league affiliate of the Penguins. Clark had 27 goals, 36 assists, and 63 points, and 114 penalty minutes in 95 games between Niagara University and Robert Morris.
Former RMU goaltender Joe Tusit was named assistant coach for the men's hockey team this summer. Tusit graduated this past spring with a master's degree in information systems management as well as an undergrad in finance from RMU as well. Tusit has a great deal of coaching experience already. He was head instructor at the RMU Goaltending Academy as well as working at Northern Michigan University Goaltending School and Bill Howard Goaltending School. Head coach Derek Scully is very confident in his decision as he feels Tusit fits the position well. He knows the campus and the hockey program and is a very intelligent and dedicated young man with a passion for the sport.
Now, while Coach Derek Scully turns the hockey program into a powerhouse, the men's basketball team is looking to follow suit. Following a disappointing finish to last season, head coach Mark Schmidt left for St. Bonaventure, allowing the team to bring in Mike Rice from Pittsburgh. Some have questioned whether Schmidt felt the pressure to follow the recruiting and scheduling paths paid by Scully and the hockey program, and the Scully effect appears to be in full force. Just look at the recruiting class for this year. RMU will have 4 new players this year. Highly rated guards Gary Wallace and Batico Francisco, and forwards Khalif Foster and William Royal. Oh, and they'll be rocking with a tremendously tough schedule too. Take a look at it. November 14th, 18th, 23rd, and 24th, part of the Philly Classic at Navy Seton Hall, Drexel, and Loyola, Maryland. Also a possible game against Howard in there. Then on November 29th, they return a trip to Florida International after Florida International came up here last year. Then they'll go play Fordham on December 2nd, and January 7th, Boston College will get a visit from the Colonials as Tony Lee goes back home to Massachusetts.
As it seems, basketball season never sleeps. Last year, our Lady Colonials traveled to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history after winning the NEC conference title. With the disappointing loss at the tournament, expectations are still held high for the women this year. The team returns with 4 players, 3 of which are starters, which gives the team a great, solid foundation to build upon this season. The ladies have had much success under head coach Sal Biscaglia. Last year, the ladies went 15-3 in the conference and 24-8 overall, which paved their way to the NCAA tournament. The Colonials released their schedule on August 29th for the 07-08 season. Some of the games to look out for are some of these. November 12th, they're going to travel to Florida down in the Sunshine State. November 15th, they host Kent State. November 21st, they're going to go over to Duquesne. Following that, the 24th is at Missouri. The 25th of November, they're going to fly back down to Florida, and December 2nd, they're going to go to Nebraska, and December 5th, Miami, Ohio.
Now, former women's basketball three-point specialist Jenna Burkett is heading into coaching. The Altoona Mirror reported a month ago that Burkett was originally planning on playing overseas, but Coach Sal Biscaglia has convinced her to try coaching. So she's joining Morehead State University as a graduate assistant, a job she snagged with the help of Charlie Biscaglia. Burkett will be working with first-year head coach Mike Bradbury.
Burkett changed her mind about playing overseas, but for graduated guard Derek Coleman, he found his place with a professional team in Denmark. From the U.S. to Europe, Coleman will be playing for the top-tier team upstairs Weert. According to a news release from his agency, the team made it to the quarterfinals last year in the Premier Dutch Basketball League. Fellow Colonial Chaz McCroman is also playing in Europe.
All right, we're going to bring in Christian Miranda now to talk a little bit of Colonials football. And right now, Christian, it looks like the Colonials are going to try and rebound against from their loss against Dayton, against Monmouth. Just a general question to start it off. What went wrong offensively against Dayton?
Well, I'm going to start off by saying this, Andrew. For the people that actually got to see the game, you wouldn't have guessed this, but the offenses, both when you compare them together, really were quite similar in total time of possession as well as total yards overall. But the fact of the matter is, the Colonials really just did not capitalize on their opportunities that were given to them. And that begins, of course, with the 3 fumbles, 2 of which were lost. And that's going to hurt your team regardless of whether you recover them or not, because that's a completely wasted down. Also, in a crucial part of the game, Shannon Smoot, with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, made a key defensive stop, got the ball back in the hands of the Colonials offense, and they throw an interception. Scott Horcher returns it for the Dayton Flyers for a touchdown.
All right, Christian, last question. No changes to the depth chart heading into this game. Is this just a matter of getting everyone on the same page, or should changes be coming down the road?
I've got to be completely honest with you. It looks like it's going to be a very rough season for the Robert Morris Colonials. On the offensive line, they're very young. They gave up 5 sacks for a total of 27 yards. And then the kicking. Michael Walzer, okay, you can miss a field goal every now and then, but you miss 2 extra point attempts. You've got to start thinking of somebody else.
All right, thanks to Christian Miranda. And we come back, we have an Asshat Award to give out. So don't go anywhere. Colonial Sports Center returns in 60 seconds.
Don't miss it.
It is on this first Thursday of September that we award our first Asshat of the semester. It is beyond symbolic that this likely former employer of the most despicable man in recent sports history begins its most recent season tonight, the same night that we award the largest non-anniversary Asshat in recent memory to all of professional sports. The wretched actions of one Michael Dwayne Vick are but the crowning achievement on a decade worth of criminal activity, debauchery, and callous behavior. From Michael Vick to Pac-Man Jones, from Steven Jackson to Ron Artest, from Barry Bonds to Nefi, yes, Nefi Perez, it is safe to say that professional athletes have lost their way. These are only games. Yet because of the importance we as a society place on these games, you athletes are the most public figures in the world. The requirements are simple. We do not ask you to be a vigilant donor to charity. We simply ask you to not use drugs, to behave normally in public, to not end up in jail for assault, murder, or the destruction, maiming, and betting on the killing of man's best friend. We ask that you use your athletic gifts naturally, instead of putting enough ephedrine in your body to literally kill a horse. These supplements were created to assist the deformed. It's quite obvious that you professional athletes are deformed as well. Not in your bodies, but in your heads. It's baffling to suggest that the continued criminal acts of a select few will tarnish the sports world as we know it. But should the inmates continue to run the asylum, I feel confident that the word asshat will be the kindest phrase uttered in the direction of professional athletes.
Here's some of the RMU home sports for you guys to check out this Saturday. Field hockey is up at the North Athletic Complex. Joe Walton Stadium at 2 o'clock versus Mercyhurst. Sunday, field hockey is once again 12 o'clock versus LaSalle at the Joe Walton Stadium. Check them out.
And on that note, Thursdays, all the time, 9:30 right here. Don't miss it. Army Live, 5:30, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Goodbye.